How to source an off-market deal. Great question. I get asked this a lot. Our clients are bizarre and they go, how do you do it, Frank? How do you do it? How do you find these properties, I should say? Lucky we've got a great team. Chris, my buyer's agent, and the team around us. We do a lot of things that impact the business. And so it comes down to a lot of things. And I've had to put these in 3 categories because it's something that is important, and I think it's something that people don't think about. And I'm going to explain a lot of things, and you're going to get a lot of value here today. So let's get into it. So when we're looking into a region, the first step is relationships. Build those relationships. It's all about the relationships. We go into a region, new region, we're calling 40, the 50 real estate agents in that region. You might think that's crazy, but that's all we got to do. You need to build those relationships. You're not going to just call 1 or 2 and see if you're going to get the best deal from them. You call those people, build rapport. Now, you might call 30, the 50 agents in a region. You're going to get something there. You're going to get some off-market deals. Are those off-market deals going to be any good? That's the great question. That's where you do your DD, and you might find out these properties are rubbish. Bad locations on main roads, next to shopping centers, and next to the noisy freeways or whatever it may be, in flood zones, bushfire zones, or maybe in bad pockets of the region. So you're going to have to scrap them. What's that bring you back to? 0. You have to do it again. Now, you're going to get some leeway because you're going to get agents that are going to want to work with you. Now, you have to be persistent. You have to keep following up. So you might have to call these people 2 times in the week. Now, like I said, the people that do present something to you, go back to those people. You go back to those people because they're willing to help you. And they'll be willing to help you back if you're going to put in the effort as well. Okay? Now, get their emails. Make sure you put them on a database. That's something you give out, and you're going to make sure you track all that and you can see what's going on. Without tracking, you're not going to understand who's giving what and who's who, because you need to track everything. You track it all, it gives you more clarity. Something that's super important. Now, when you're doing this, okay, it's going to take a lot of effort. And make sure you build that relationship, and make sure it's just not, a business relationship. Make sure it's a bit personal as well. Get to know them, understand about them. Act with integrity, act with honesty, act with respect. Okay, treat them how you want to be treated as well. Now, of course, you're going to talk to some people, and I'm not going to give you the time of day. That's okay. Those people probably aren't the best people to work with, but it's about relationships, building that relationship. But which brings me to our next point. What can you do for them? What can you do for them? Now, it's got to be a win-win situation. Don't go in there and say you're trying to, crush them. I want to take and not give. You got to give them something. Now, you might not be a buyer's agent where you can offer multiple purchases in a month, but you can give them terms. You can give them great price offers. You can give them flexibility on contracts. You can give them, quick turnover times, whatever it may be. You can give them a lot of what they're wanting to, what they're wanting out of you. You can give them your professionalism. Give them, the right things. And if you give them the right things, you will get that in return. But if you try to go in there and take and not give, you'll get that result. Act with respect. Act with honesty. Act with integrity. Act with flexibility. Okay, this is super important. Flexibility is important because you might go in there and they might want a 90 days or a 40-day settlement, and maybe you don't want that. Or maybe maybe you can give them that, or maybe you can do even better for them. You can do even a shorter settlement. Maybe you can do something where instead of getting you can do a pest and building beforehand, and there's going to be no pest and building on the contract. You're very certain with the property. You've done your DD and you've done the pest and building before. You're going to go in there. There's going to be no conditions on the contract. You're going to jump straight in. You got your pre-approval. Everything's ready, rock and roll, and you can jump in there and they can make it a fast transaction. Bang, you're in. Or maybe, when it comes to negotiating on pest and building, you can explain to the agent, you're going to be, look, I understand the property's old. I'm going to be flexible here with this. I want this property at the same time. But as well, let's get a win-win situation. If there is something on the pest and building, we can work something out on pricing. Or maybe they want to do some repairs. Look, I'm very flexible here. Be upfront, be honest, communicate. Very important. This is business, yeah? Business. If you can act as a professional, even if you're just doing this solely by yourself, and this is something that you're doing to purchase an investment property for yourself, be a professional that is speaking to another professional who's the real estate agent, and act professional. And by doing so, they will see this person is wanting a win-win situation, but not just that they're wanting to work with those sort of people as well. So if you can do that for them, that's going to be a win-win situation for both views. Last but not least, turnover times. Real estate agents hate people that take their time and dawdle and just procrastinate and just don't get the job done. The reason they put these off markets, they want them gone. They want them snapped up. They're not trying to market them because they don't put them to market because they're not putting on realestate.com and domain. So they're doing their work of calling around. But you, if you're going to want that off-market deal, you got to show it. Be communicative. Communicate correctly. Tell them if it's not your property or you don't like it, tell them straight away. Okay, if you like the property and you've done your DD, don't dawdle and wait a day or two because they don't want that. Bang, act quick and say, yes, let's get it done. Can I order an inspection first before I buy it? I've got an independent inspector or whatever it may be. Or maybe, you want to look over contracts, send me rental appraisals, send me some photos or do a video walkthrough for me, whatever it may be. You need to act quick. The quicker you act, the more they enjoy working with you. So these three things are going to help you. Okay, very simple, very easy. Takes time and effort, but this is not something you can just, say, oh yeah, I'm going to do this and don't put the effort in, because if you don't put the effort in, you will not get the result. It's pretty simple. Okay, relationships. What can you do for them? And turnover time. Three key things that you just got to focus on. You focus on that, you can get anything off market. And this comes in you putting the effort in. How bad do you want it? How much you can give back to them, as in a sense as well of acting in integrity, not just giving everything and not taking it and then just leaving yourself short, but acting with integrity. Make sure it's a win-win situation. Make sure you're getting what you're wanting. Make sure you're acting fast and quick in the deal, and just build those relationships, and you will not have a problem. Pretty simple, pretty easy.